Hello, this is Rasmus. I'm going to do this Module 8 assignment, which is a rehearsal for the exam. I'm going to do it about Module number 5, non-fiction. And I'm going to shortly come in, we're going to taste a little about fiction analysis also. First of all, this text I've chosen, Stench of Kerosene. It's a fiction text with a taste of non-fiction. It's a story. It could be an excerpt from a biography, perhaps, if you twist a little, a diary, and it's setting focus on marriage problems in India. First of all, what is the text about? This I'm going to analyze the first part from non-fiction. The text about a family in India, Manak, the man, and Guleri, the wife. We have the mother and we have a new wife. Guleri, the text is about Guleri and Manak not being able to have children, and what goes on when you're a young couple in India and you haven't bought a child for your husband. And it has been 7 years since they got married, and despite that Manak loves Guleri, the mother cannot abide to this. She will not stand for it, so she forces Manak through tradition to remarry, while Guleri is at a city fair in her hometown. Okay. First of all, we have the sender. Second of all, we have the sender. That's the writer is Amrita Pitam, born 1919, died 2005. She's in India a very famous and acknowledged writer slash poet slash novelist. She's made many poems and novels. She's quite interesting. She's lived through the Indian partition. She's a role model for modern Indian woman, and she's through this role as a novelist and a writer. She's won numerous of Indian awards. She's especially known for her work Skeleton, and that's written shortly after the horrors under the Indian partition, where that's roughly estimated there were 200,000 to 2 million people which died in a religious genocide between Hindus, Muslim, and Buddhists. The receiver, pretty much everyone could read this story. You could read about it in a newspaper. It could be a story in there, but I believe that especially humanitarians and people who wish to stand against traditions and to undo the systems that does not quite follow the modern way of living in the 21st hundred. The medium, the text is a part of stories and poems by Amrita Pitam. It's a part of a compendium she wrote in 1955 called Sunara, meaning messages in Indian. It was translated in the 2006, 15th of January 2006, and it's in the compendium, which you call the Selected Stories by Khushandu Singh, Land of Five Rivers. We have we have the text. It's written to inform us about what goes on in India, what goes on in the Ural areas in India, and where tradition stands strong still. Traditions like putting yourself on fire. And this ritual on putting yourself when you become a widow on fire is called a sati, and it's an Indian ritual where recently widowed women set themselves on fire. But today this is rather rare. She talks to us in the rhetorical mode. She uses pathos. She talks to our feelings. She talks to our emotions, and she's trying to stir things up. Like he's forced to remarry while Guleria is at a city fair, and when she finds out, she puts herself on fire. So yeah. Then I'm gonna do a little on the fiction side of this text. If you choose to analyze it from a fiction, you could do it like this. Just let me to the top. We have the genre. It's a short story. We have a setting. We're at home with Guleria and Manak, and at home it's a comfortable social environment. They're not overwhelming poor, since Guleria's father was a merchant, but still they're not rich people either. The symbolic meaning of this story in this setting, the symbolic meaning could be that even though their odds in life seem good, and that there's no immediate threats against them, there's still trouble in paradise. The mother being that trouble. Talking about the characters, we have a Guleria. She's the wife. She's happy about her husband, keen, beautiful, and daughter of a merchant. Still, she fails to provide her husband with a son or the family, since she cannot please the mother, which forces Manak to remarry. Then we have a Manak. He loves Guleria, but still tradition forces him to do things he does not want to do. He's emotional, and he has, in the end of the story, an emotional breakdown. He only eats when food is served. He just walks around like a robot, and at the end he breaks down. And his breakdown is because of the loss of Guleria and the tension between love and tradition. We have the point of view. It's a third person narrative. An example of that, Guleria, do not go away. He begged her. I ask you again, do not go this time. He handed her back the flute, unable to continue. But why? She asked. You come over on the day of the fair, and we will return together. I promise you, I will not stay behind. This is taken from page 2, line 11, underlining that this is third person narrative, third person point of view. We have the composition of the text. I've used a classic suspense curve. We have the exposition, where we are introduced to Guleria, and where she used to live with her family, where Manak used to live, and a short background knowledge about Guleria. Then we have a little rising in action. You can see it here, rising in action. We start to know something is wrong. Manak does not want to go to the fair with Guleria, and yet he agrees to take her to the top of the hill, where they have some story together, where he used to take her so she can look at home. Her home being the city of Chamba, her home city, a larger city in India. Then we have climax. Guleri goes to the fair, and however Manak's mother will not give this unfruitful marriage any more time, so she forces Manak to follow tradition and follow the way of the family, and makes him remarry while Guleri is attending the fair in Chamba. Of course, when she realizes, or when she finds out, she puts herself on fire. She uses kerosene. She bathes pretty much in kerosene and puts herself on fire. And after this, Manak is not the same. Then months go by, and Manak's new wife gives birth to a son, but still grief and pressure ends in denouement, and Manak has a psychological meltdown. And you can read the last of the text. The theme, yeah, thinking about the language, that's not important. We have the theme. The theme of the story is if you want to make a new world, we have to take parts. We have to take down some part of the old one to rebuild a new world. Meaning that some traditions are not meant to last, some traditions we cannot uphold, and it just doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't make any sense about following this kind of tradition. The message we could take from this is that you should follow your heart. Manak would have been happy with Guleri, with or without a child. Had she given him a son or a girl, he would have been very happy. But thus this was not to be, and being forced by tradition, karma catches up on him, and still this ends very bad for Manak. Of course, Guleri died, but Manak's life is broken nonetheless. We're gonna have a question for myself, because I had no partner to discuss or ask questions, so I made up one for myself. How does this text fit into modern day society? If you take modern day society, we in Denmark we have Danish traditions. We have these days in Denmark we have a lot of people who come fleeing from their own countries, having trouble, and the new world, open borders. We just can't have people running over our borders, taking that so much of their own culture and tradition and forcing it upon us, not being forcing us by force, but forcing us by outnumber us in our own country. That was that. I'll send what I've written down. Hopefully you can answer on the mail, and we can have a short correspondence on mail.